actually while I'm here, oh, this one. We have to have one of these. And it will track two people, so you can have a little lightsaber button. Unfortunately, the lids don't fall off when I'm not getting up there. Quite entertaining, that's right.
Yeah, the lids don't fall off because it would mess up with the tracking.
Yeah. Managed code or C++. This is running through just testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. And what's going on there is I'm walking around the sensor. I'm actually getting an event firing, which is a beam changed event. So whenever the sensor detects that there is audio coming from one of those different 10-degree subtended angles, it will raise an event, tell you what that beam is and where it's coming from. It will also, that sample also just records the audio as well. So if I just play that back so it doesn't. Testing. Testing. That's just saved as a WAV file. And actually most of the code in that sample is just building the WAV file headers to actually write that to disk. There's not a lot in that code. The beamforming stuff is mostly done through hardware. And just to run through very, very briefly what's going on, using this object called a Kinect audio source. It's worth pointing out while I'm here a couple of other samples. So this is one of the other samples that ships, which demonstrates some of the stuff I've shown you how to do in code. It's not much more than that. You've got three windows. You've got the depth stream on the top left, you've got the skeletal tracking on the top right, and you've got the color video stream down the bottom left. And there's also a frame counter that shows you that this is happening at 30 frames a second. And it will have support for two skeletal tracks as well. So you'll see two skeletons. This is a WDF application. There's also a C++ one as well that does something that looks very, very similar. And you've got obviously the full source code for that app as well. There's quite an amusing game in here as well, which lets you kind of bounce around these interesting shapes. So, and obviously, you know, it is full body, so I can kick them as well. You can punch them, you can headbutt them, do whatever you like. You can also use audio to control this. So if I say triangles. So we'll convert it to triangles. Bigger. Biggest. Pink. So it's a very, very simple game. Clearly it's, we keep you entertained for hours now. It's actually a very, very good example of how you can use grammar files. There are quite a few more complex choices in the grammar definition of you can say like pink shade. Just a simple XNA application that just renders the skeletal track on the screen as well. I'm just using a controller just to walk around the scene as well. So as you can see here, you know, I'm using the depth information as well. Just zoom in a little bit more. You can see me actually. I'll borrow you for a second. Again, it will track two people, so we'll see the joints from two people. Okay, so there's Jeff, there's me. I can walk around this scene because it is 3D, so Jeff can stand in front of me up to a point about 1.2 meters or so, and you'll see that 3D information there. So it's a good example of just the fact that it is 3D. Some of the samples just show you that rendered in 2D.